New week, new documenting the journey. Welcome back. On this channel, I document my journey building my brand, Exchange Life. So if you're in e-commerce, if you're trying to build a brand, then come along. Let's start off with a win this week. I hired a customer service girl and she's doing great. So I'm checking all of the emails before they are sent out. What is the language? How are they looking? Are they correct? And they're already going like they should go in our language. Sweet, but straight to the point. So that is great. I was still doing them every day myself, so it's nice to not do that anymore. It takes a bit, of course, with skill, then your customer support requests go up, and especially I sell custom products, so there's way more questions and doubts that customer have that we need to answer. Last this week, I am not really prepared for Black Friday, to be honest. I have not done much, but I also have not decided how much of a promotion I will run for Black Friday because my products are customized, so supply chain is an issue. I cannot just sell a 5,000 or 500 or, I cannot just sell a 10x that I'm normally selling over a weekend if I, don't have the right supply chain to actually fulfill the customized product. So this is something that I'm working on, but yeah, this is a lot for this week. I need to prepare more, kind of decide what I'm going to do here. Let's get into the brand updates. So I finished a Trustpilot review request system. So before I was not really doing anything on Trustpilot, but I cleared my page and now I see my traffic going up there, that people are looking for it. You can see how many people visit your Trustpilot page and it's going up. So I kind of decided that, I need to get new reviews as well on there consistently. So I set up a system. I'm also doing reviews through Unip. I really like Unip, but some people just want to see Trustpilot. So now I'm kind of doing both. So that's nice. I talked about in previous videos that I often feel useless. I kind of figured out why this is. So I think this is because when I'm stagnate, I feel useless. So for example, the past few weeks, I was doing all of the creatives until this point myself, right? Creating the ads. But I didn't really know what I was doing. I was creating good ads, but I didn't really know why, right? I was looking at competitors, for example, and this and that. So I decided that I need to kind of find someone that can maybe consult me on this or help me or, actually create a system together with me to come up with winning ads instead of just creating ads and freestyling it. And I kind of was not pulling the trigger on this because it is new. You don't know what's going to happen. Like, what if you hire an agency and they're not good, for example? So I was kind of like procrastinating on that. But that makes me feel useless because the next step is uncomfortable and new. You can only level up by doing something new, right? Or something else or something more, something that is uncomfortable. So when I don't do these things, then I start to feel useless. I kind of realize when I'm stagnant. So what I did now is I planned some calls with creative agencies. I want to test some external creatives, for example, but I mainly want to set up an internal system where I kind of have a system with my own creators that I talked about in previous videos to come up with really good ads. So this is kind of, something important that even if you don't know what something will bring, that you still take the risk. And I'll get to it more in a video why this is kind of a no-brainer, but it is really important to do these things because for me, often when I don't know what the result of something is, I kind of like procrastinate on it. But you probably need to take 4 swings that don't end anywhere or that were not the best investment before you even hit the 5th one that does pay a lot or is perfect for what you're doing or is worth it 10x what you paid for it. So sometimes you just make investments that you don't know what they will return, and maybe they won't return much, but this does not mean that you don't need to do this anymore, because if you want to end up with the investment that does return a lot, then you need to also always keep investing in the things that you think are right to hit that big swing. So this is kind of a thought that's been going through my head this week. Also my ad setup. So a big thing with testing creatives, if you're running Advantage Plus mainly, then the campaigns don't give a lot of spend to new creatives, even though they might be very good. So I need to start having a test campaign as well, where I test creatives so I know that, for example, they are good or bad because they actually got some spend, instead of not getting any spend because they're Advantage Plus, that only give spend to the winning ad. So this is also something that I'm working on. I'm trying out Google Ads. So I've tried out Google Ads in the past. I've never made it work, but giving it another shot. Let's see what they will do. So that's interesting. I'll update you guys on that next week. Still looking to outsource email like I talked about last week. I have had no success yet finding someone good. I'm trying out a platform called Indeed. Maybe I should also try out other platforms with no success yet. So I was thinking of maybe hiring a freelancer. It's a bit more expensive and they might be not as engaged with your brand, but they already have the skills required and you don't need to kind of train them. I think hiring a freelancer for email versus an agency might be good, because I feel like an agency might be overpriced for email, but I'm not really sure about this yet. I'm kind of still trying to figure this out. Realization that I had as well is that you should constantly run A/B tests for everything. Pricing, shipping, the conversion rate, all these different things is so important, because let's say with each test you can add in like 0.05 percentage points of conversion rate. Then if you do this consistently, let's say every week or 2 weeks a new one, then you can just increase your conversion rate steadily. And this gives you room to scale, because you can acquire customers cheaper if your conversion rate is higher, which gives you more spend until you hit that point where you can spend more, right? So constantly run A/B tests for everything. Otherwise, you're really missing out. Our assumptions are often, we think we are right on something, but often we are not, right? We have to test things. And then lastly, I'm thinking about, can I somehow integrate AI in customer service, maybe with generating responses, or making it easier to come up with a good response. But I don't know yet. I'm always trying to think if I can implement it in my business, but it is kind of a hype as well, right? You can for some things, but it often needs a human as well to kind of like tape all of the things that don't really work yet together, right? So those are the updates about the brand this week. In general, I just said I'll go deeper into why you need to make the swings. I think at some point, if you saved up some money, let's say, for instance, Alex Ramozzi says 100K for 3 years. If you have 100K, you can live 3 years. And it's funny because I last year wrote down 33K for a year. So it kind of fits, right? If you have 33K saved up, then you can live a year without fucking up everything. So let's say you have 33K and your business just does not make any money anymore for the next year, then you can still live a year everywhere you go. Granted, you don't live an outlandish lifestyle. So if you just live like normally, then you can live anywhere for a year on 33K. So everything after that, you should just invest, or like try things with, make things with, lose, and then make a big win. Because you don't need anything else really for a year of living somewhere. And then I can even add run rate to it, because, for example, I don't mind living at home like I did now. Like, I'll go back home for half a year if I need to. So 33K, I have 1.5 years of run rate. Everything after that, I should not be scared to invest. Because if I have a 1.5 year run rate and everything goes bad, then in that 1.5 years, I can still figure out something new and get back to it, right? That's enough time. So yeah, I should not be so worried about, for instance, investment not paying off, because if I have a year to live, then I'll be fine. I should make these. Why not hire a creative agency to help me? Like, right? Why am I even thinking about that twice? So that is something that is very important. I think 33K rule is something that I come up with. And another thing that I wrote down that I think is good, once you start to get a bit more comfortable, like until now I always had to stress where I was going to pay rent from, for example, or all of these different things. I think it's important to just give endlessly, even if it's little things, and just always. For me, a lot of small things always come up, like I saw this person doing this, for example, so let's give them a book because I think it fits them in this situation. All of these things that you can come up with, just give, and I think it's just so important, because why not? I mean, it's small things that can make a big difference for people, and it's not always worrying about yourself, right? It's also very important to just give it back and to make a difference for other people. And I naturally do that for myself, but I think I want to do that even more, because I don't have to stress as much about it anymore, how I'm going to pay rent, so before I was like admittedly and also very aware about me just having to figure my own things out. Like I just have to fix my own situation. But as soon as you get some more room, then give back in any way that you can. If that's maybe hopping on a call with someone or buying a book for someone or all of these different things, just it's just so good to give. Not even for anything in return, but just to I don't know, just give back what helped you a lot along the way, right? Maybe someone gave me a book, or maybe someone hopped on the call with me, so I want to do that even more. I think it's very important. Just good for everyone. Makes you feel better as well, and helps people out, and just important. I don't know. Maybe you should do it more if you don't do it yet. But that's it really for this week. This week's documenting the journey. A shorter one, I think, but hopefully it's helping you out in any way. Subscribe to me if you want to come along with my journey, and I'll see you guys next week.